Cafe. Hey guys, today's video, it's just me today. Grace is actually getting ready in the bathroom right now because we're going out in about half an hour. And speaking of that, since we are out of quarantine now and we've been enjoying our life outside of the hotel quarantine room, things have been great. And suddenly I thought this was the perfect time to talk about top 5 things I really missed about Taiwan. And I think Grace as well would have the same input because 90% of the time we like and dislike the same things. So I'm gonna list everything from top 5 all the way to top 1. So let's get started. Number 5. Number 5 is actually very common. I don't like the snow. I don't like the winter. It's super cold and it's hard to deal with. Number 5 is weather. Weather in Taiwan is one of the top 5 things that I miss about it because in December time, it is cold, but it's not as cold as the winter in Canada. Obviously, because we have snow there. Here, winter time is equivalent to the fall time in Canada. It's very comfortable walking outside. It's very comfortable riding a scooter. And it's just the perfect weather for me. Fall is my favorite season in Canada. And I think most people do as well. Sometimes some people I know they love winter because of the winter sports. But again, for me, it's such a hard thing to live in. But that's okay. That's why Canadians do adapt to this weather. But for me, I'm lucky that I can fly into Taiwan with this wonderful, sometimes rainy, but that's okay. I'd rather deal with rain versus snow. Okay, so number 4, it's about money. And it's the tax inclusion of everything in Taiwan. So in Canada, every time you buy something, anything, that price isn't the final price. You have to add 13%, which is the sales tax of Ontario, the HST. So I would rather prefer seeing the full final price on what I'm looking at to buy rather than having to add another 13% on top of it. If you compare prices, for example, Apple products, I would say 90% of the products you would be saving 2,000 to 3,000 NT compared to both taxes included. Number 3, transportation. About transportation, which is the MRT versus the subway in Toronto. MRT in Taipei has better amenities. In Taiwan, correct me if I'm wrong, all of the MRT stations have bathrooms in it. So if you need to go, you just get off the train and then go to the bathroom, right? No problem. And one more thing about that, the Wi-Fi. So you have cell phone service when you take the MRT in Taiwan. So you can use your data, and then compared to Toronto, you're still underground, but you don't get reception. No service, and there is Wi-Fi, but just in that 2 minutes of you stopping in one station, and it's very slow. At least on here, if you take the MRT, what you can do is you can actually do some work. And again, I'm very happy that every time I take the station now, I can still email people, I can still do some work, or I can just connect with you guys on the internet. Number 2 is what every foreigner loves about Taiwan, and that is the convenience stores. I already knew about this before we flew out, that I was gonna miss convenience stores, but I didn't realize how much I missed it when we got to Taiwan. Because again, everything is there compared to convenience stores in Canada. It's mostly just overpriced junk food. And sometimes, yes, there are important stuff there that makes it convenient. But compared to the 2 convenience stores in Taiwan, is a lot better. You can pay bills, you can get your packages. Yes, it's more expensive than buying it at a supermarket or a grocery store. But again, it's not that much. It's not that much. And I would rather pay for that convenience than overpriced junk food or drinks in the convenience stores in Canada. Okay, number 1. I think you might guess this, but maybe not. And it's not food. Like, I do miss food here, but it's not the top one of all things. The top one for me is GoShare. So maybe some of you will ask, why don't I just buy myself my own motorcycle? Well, first things first, I'm not always in Taiwan. Usually we do like half year in Taiwan and half year in Canada or somewhere else. But The thing with owning is that you have to look at the long-term cost. First thing is that you have your subscription fees, which is for your I'm doing this because the battery is like, you have to pull it like that. So the battery subscription fee, which is the gas for your Gogoro. Second thing is the maintenance. Like, you have to really take care of it. If you look at it long term, you're also spending extra money on changing the tires, changing the brakes, changing some parts that are broken. So these are the things that add up over time. But if you rent, yes, the cost is a little bit higher, but you don't need to take care of these things. You don't have to worry about these things because you're just renting it for that period of time. GoShares are available everywhere in Taipei, and it's very convenient. You just look in the app and walk. I think max is 5 minutes. I had to find the scooter somewhere, but that's it. That's it. It's very convenient. And all you have to do, if you don't want to wear the helmets that's provided, you can just bring your own helmet, and that's it. You're done. And just a note, if you're a foreigner flying into Taiwan and you don't have any residencies here or licenses, you do have to get a driver's license in Taiwan for you to be able to use the 50cc equivalent of GoShare, which is the Viva, and that's what I use. I don't need to use the bigger one, but I do want to get my motorcycle license as well, and I think it's gonna make a great video. Practicing for the test, I think, will be very fun. I've never done the thing. I've never done the scooter practice test, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun. But if I do get my motorcycle license, that means that I can rent scooters, like normal size scooters in Penghu, like the islands around Taiwan, and that will be easier for me to travel around. So to me, GoShare is one of the best things that Taiwan can offer to travel around the city conveniently. And you can also travel outside the city as well, because there's a lot of GoShare stations out there. I think Grace and I are gonna do another comparison video because we actually have lived 6 months consecutively in Taiwan, and then 6 months consecutively as well in Canada. So we now know what the difference is of living there and living in Taiwan as well. Okay, so those are my top 5, and if you have anything to add, feel free to comment down below. I'd love to see what people miss when they come back from another country to Taiwan. Anyways, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.